Good morning, everyone. Happy Supercharged Manifesting Monday from Costa Rica. I'm going to click over here so I can see comments, see who has joined us. I'm also live on Instagram, so I got to make my eyes look in both places, which you know what? The best thing to do is I'm going to sit all the way back so I can see everyone. All right, good morning, those of you watching, wherever you might be. Would be awesome to hear from you. Happy start of the winter solstice. It is December 21st, and today we're doing your word of the year. I'm really, really excited. I want to see, hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Audra. Yes, thank you. I am absolutely enjoying my trip. I'm here in Costa Rica, and I'm a little bummed that my camera, this one, is not as amazing as my Instagram. So you guys watching on Instagram, you're seeing like the real deal. All right. Good morning. Hey, Diane. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Madonna. So this morning we're talking about the word of the year. And let me see if I turn this a little, just trying to get an angle that gets you guys to see me a little bit better. All right. So forgive me, Instagram, but I got two different cameras going. I'm going to try to look in the general direction so that you guys all feel like we're all sitting together. Just imagine that we're all sitting here in Costa Rica, just having a great time. So today we're talking about your word for the year, and I promised that I would share my experience and what happened to me this year. Like I teach and practice this stuff, and yeah, it happened to me. So I always say, your word for the year, we sit around and we go, oh, let's just pick a word. And everybody gets really excited and we jump on the bandwagon and we choose whatever word comes to mind. And the funny thing is that, um, our word charts our course for the year. It's like our North Star. And so I chose to split my words this year, and I chose to choose one for my life, one for my business. And then here's the thing that happened. The universe was like, actually, no, Tasha, because you believe that your life and your business are one and the same. And because I believe my life and my business are one and the same, what the universe did was it brought them both together so that I could have the experience of both words in one. And then guess what happened? Woosa, like the most incredible combination of my words were expansion and love. And so then here's what happens with expansion. What do you need to have happen for you to expand? You have to like be cracked open, right? And I always caution you guys, like, be cautious when you choose your word for the year because people choose growth and transformation. And I know when you choose growth and transformation, some stuff have to happen along the way in order for you to grow and transform. And so I'm really cautious of words like that. Yet still, I chose expansion and I expanded. I was not thinking like in my mind, I was thinking expansion for my business, like growth and multiplication and like that kind of expansion. But because my true way of being and way of living is that my life and my business is one, the word became the word for my personal life and me personally. And so I had to expand. And it was a woosa in the process of expanding. But, I just want to share that with you because I want to caution you. And then love, obviously, I chose love in my personal life for a relationship. Well, the way the year unfolded, it turned out to be a massive lesson of self-love. And as you know, the journey to self-love is not always a straight and smooth and, glossy path because we have to unearth the things about ourselves that we don't love in order to get there. So, hey, Sarah. Hey, Mildred. Good morning. Mwah. You guys watching from all over the world today. Yes, happy solstice. Oh my gosh. All right, guys. So I want to jump in and I want you to know that I have notes because it's an important day and I'm not even going to attempt to do this justice from my head. I wrote notes because I understand this myself, but I want to transfer my understanding in layman's terms so that you get it too. Ooh, let's see. Instagram, don't go away. All right. So that you guys get it too. Right. And so bear with me because I am going to have to read notes and forgive me, but it's morning time here. Everyone's on vacation. Some people are working. There's like lots going on. So if you hear background noise, that's that. Just, Be present with me. Hey, Catherine, good morning. Happy solstice. Hey, Grace. I'm missing Jamaica, but Costa Rica will have to do. Costa Rica will have to do this holiday. All right. So, what do I want to say? You probably have heard a lot of people talking about the significance of today, like the moon and the stars and energetically what it all means. And that stuff has always intrigued me and excited me, but I sometimes it's just too much and I don't really fully understand it and I don't even pretend to. So I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to tell you I did a ton of research to try to explain my understanding of it to you. And here's what I know. Every morning the sun rises, and that's our signal to our body to wake up. We rise. As human beings, we rise. Every night the sun sets and the moon rises, and that's the signal to our body to rest. So we respond to the cycles of the sun and the moon. And we've all heard the saying, as above, so below, which for me means everything that happens in the cosmos absolutely affects our life here on earth and affects us here and affects us as human beings, because we're not beings living in earth, we're beings of the earth. And that means just like the earth is impacted by the planetary movements, so are we. So I'm just going to give you that layman's term and say to you, like those of you that's as far as you can go, just trust me in knowing that today is a big deal energetically. It's a major deal, and it's going to have an impact on all of our lives. And now if you can stay with me for a little bit longer as I share like why this is such a big deal. If you can just hang with me, I promise I'm going to make it easy, like a baby could understand, but you're going to get like why I rearrange the entire calendar to put your word of the year today instead of next week or last week or any other day, because the universe has literally set us up to do this today, right? So you see a lot of people saying happy solstice, which is part of what we're going to talk about. But the first place I want to go is that on December 16th, we had a solar eclipse. It was a total solar eclipse. It was also a new moon. And you know, in our community, we use the new moon to set intentions. So we kind of had a double whammy a few days ago on the 16th, right? And that experience in the universe opened up a portal that allows us, it's like a new beginning. It symbolizes a new beginning. Just like the sun rises, it's a new day. That event on the 16th was representing of a new beginning for us. Then today we have what's called a great conjunction. This happens every 20 years, so it's like a once every 2 decades kind of deal. So that's significant. But today, Jupiter and Saturn align at 0 degrees. Now, again, this is where I would usually get lost because it's like too astrological for me, too scientific, too deep. But I needed to understand because everybody was making a big deal about this, right? So here's what I understand. The significance of aligning at 0 degrees and aligning in Aquarius is an event that happens every 200 years. Anything that happens every 200 years is a big enough deal that we should pause and take like notice of it, right? So what that means for you and me is that this symbolizes a big new like it represents 0 degrees represents infinite possibilities, and it means it's really the dawning. Sorry, but Instagram keeps doing something weird. It's really a new era, the start of a new era and a new experience for us as human beings on planet Earth, something that has not happened for 200 years. So no pressure, guys, but the stars and the moon and the planets and everything energetically has done its part to bring us all right here, right now, with the opportunity to chart a new course, not just for ourselves and for our lives, for the rest of our lives on planet Earth, but I believe we're going to be able to chart the course for the next 200 years and beyond. So no pressure, but it's not just a little word that you choose that feels good. Do you get what I'm saying now? Like, it's like caution. Don't just grab a word out of your hat that you woke up and you felt like choosing this morning. Like, this is a big deal. This is not just about you, but about humanity, right? The collective, the next 200 years. What is our legacy going to be? We can't continue to just think about us. That's what I'm getting from this. Like, this is really a big deal. And the universe has done its part to bring us to this day where these three things have happened. We got the solar eclipse and the new moon a few days ago, opened us up for this opportunity. We got the Great Conjunction today, and we have a winter solstice, which is the time when we are the most connected and open. So today we have all these things happening up here. The winter solstice is affecting us. You are going to feel, I've been crying all morning. Like, I went for a walk this morning and I was just bawling like a baby. Crying because I was happy, because I was grateful, because I was in joy, like just emotional. And I know what that means. I'm open, I'm connected. Like, today is going to be a big day. So the universe is asking you to chart your course, to choose a word that for this 2021 and beyond is the word that you identify as your North Star. You identify as, you're saying to the universe, all right, universe, take me in this direction. Take me, bring life experiences, bring the people, bring everything that would allow me to have the full meaning of this word as my life experience. So with that, are you guys ready? First of all, can you just, Leah says, I love the relaxed background. Yes, it's Costa Rica. That's where I am today. So first of all, I just want to make sure that you guys are still here. I haven't lost you. So can you like type in the comments and just say, I get it. It's a big deal. Or just type, it's a big deal. Today is a big deal and I get it. Something that lets me know you're hanging tight. You're with me. And Madonna says, I'm ready. Madonna, I love that you are so quick on that trigger every Monday morning. I absolutely love it. So here's the thing is that whether you understand all this moon and star thing or not is irrelevant. Whether you believe in it or not is irrelevant. Like, you can't deny that the sun and the moon affects us, right? So period. And especially us women, we know more than anybody else, right? We are affected. So the things that are happening in the planet must affect us as beings of this earth. But if it's too much for you, I get it, and that's okay. All I need you to do is just really put some thought into this word that you're about to choose. And so next, I'm going to take you through my 3-step process, which has changed this year for choosing your word. I love it. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. It is a big deal. It's a big, big deal. I want you to just think like you are not alone. Everything in the universe, everything energetically has been set up for this moment for you. You are, it's like, think of a sailboat with the wind behind it. Like, that's what you have today more than any other day. When you choose your word, it's like the universe is ready with the wind for your sails to set you off in the course that you choose to chart today. Everybody still with me? I love it. Ready for the new. And so you guys have been hearing a new earth, like that conversation happening. Shout out to Eckhart Tolle for telling us that several years ago in his book. But yeah, like, it is a new earth. Things are changing. We know that. We've been experiencing it. We know you cannot not acknowledge that everything about the human experience has changed. Period. End of story. What does that signify to you? What is that telling you? Are you awake? Are you aware? Are you acknowledging this? And most important, what are you going to do different? What are you going to do to leverage this period? So before I jump on, while I still all of you watching, I just want to say a big reminder that on the 31st, today we're going to set our word for the year, but on the 30th, I always get these dates mixed up. So on the 30th, December, next week, Wednesday, when I get home from Costa Rica, next week, Wednesday, we are going to do our intentions for 2021. That's where we take the word and then we expand and we write out statements in 4 areas of our lives: our wealth and our business or career, our health, our spirituality, and our relationship. So I'm going to guide you through the process for writing your intentions in those 4 areas, right? So that's happening December 30th at 12. And every one of you watching, I want you to type Instagram. This isn't going to work for you guys, but just put it in your calendar. and remember. So I want you guys to type the word intention. Let me put it up here for you. Give me 1 second. I want you guys to type, just like you see it on my screen, the word intention. Type that in the comments, and it's going to send you a message in Facebook Messenger to register for a reminder. So that's it. You register for the reminder. It's going to give you 15 minutes before the live. It's going to tell you how to get on the live, all that good stuff. You don't miss a thing, but you have to register. Now, one of the things I noticed is that you guys, you type the words when I tell you to type the words, but you don't check Messenger for the message. And it's not enough to just type the word. You're going to get a message. So think of it as getting a text, and then you have to click something to confirm, right? So you have to actually open up your Facebook Messenger. You'll see a message from me when you type this word, and it's going to ask you to click something to register. And that's it. You're registered. You'll get a reminder. You're all set. And it'll ensure that you're here so we can do this together. All right? Okay, so type the word intention. Okay, let me go back to comments because I want to see everything that you guys, yes, intention, I love it. All right, so here we go. As you guys are continuing to type intention, everybody, so that you get your reminder, I want to jump into the 3-step process for choosing your word. Ready? Ready? Give me some hearts, some likes. Let me know that you guys are, you're ready. Bella, you should get a message pretty soon. And if, you know, technology fails, just mark it in your calendar, Wednesday the 30th at 12, Facebook Live. But the thing about registering is that it will take you directly to the link to where I'm going to go live. So that just makes it easy. All right, awesome. Okay, so step number 1 is kind of a reminder. And I think one of the things that we do when we wake up and we're like, oh, I want to choose a word for the year is, you know, this is we're like, oh, here's the word. And we just come out of, pull like a magic trick out of a hat. Here's the word. And we skip a very important process, which is reflecting. So step number 1 is reflection. And I want you to think of it as we're all on this journey called life, but really the whole thing is not to live. The purpose of the journey is to remember. What are you here to remember? You're here in this life journey to remember what you really are. So you're not just here to, you know, go have chocolate cake and walk through life and make as much money as you can and then die. Like, that's not it. We're actually, there's a purpose to us being here, and the purpose is that we remember what we are, and we are powerful, creative beings. Like, have you ever had an experience in your life where you've thought of something and then you manifest it? The other day I was walking the beach and I just randomly thought it'd be really cool to find this thing. And I, you know, just like came up with something. And literally I forgot about it. And 2 minutes later I looked down and there it was. Now that just sounds like no big deal, you know, really cool maybe. But what you're missing is that every single one of us has that power. We have the power to create our lives. And the journey of life is about remembering that, because somewhere in the process, we've forgotten. We've succumbed to the pressures of life and forgotten just how powerful we really are. So if that's the purpose of life, is to remember, what did this year remind you of? What was the lesson of this year for you on the journey to remembering what you are? Like, if the journey is toward enlightenment, what did you become aware of this year? What was a lesson? What was a thing that you know, you're like, and if you're not asking yourselves these questions, you're totally missing the boat. I'm telling you, you are totally skipping out on the purpose of your life. You're just going through the motions and you're not like evolving, expanding, transforming, becoming lighter. So that's, you know, really, that's what I want to inspire you guys to do before you jump into choosing your word this morning, is to take the time to reflect right now. What were the lessons that were a part of you remembering who you really are? You're not just a regular old human being that you were born and then you're going to die. You're a powerful, creative being. You have incredible power to create everything in your life. But do you remember that? What is it that's gotten in the way of you remembering that? What was a lesson you needed to learn to remind you? So for me, I can tell you this year, I became aware of what I deserve. Like, I had forgotten what I deserve. And that was one of my big lessons this year, was the reminder. And you guys, you know my message. I talk about deservingness a lot this year because I was remembering it, remembering what I deserved. So how about you? What is it that you have become aware? What were some of the lessons that you learned or things that you became aware of that you're like, wow, I really needed to know that? Helen says, being present. Ooh, guess what, you guys? I realized I could do this really cool thing. Helen, check you out. You're up on my screen. I totally realized last week that I could do that, and I love it. So I'm going to show a couple more. Here's Camille, my value, definitely. That was one of the lessons, Camille. That was a big lesson for a lot of us, I think, right? Unique says, magical, 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 magical. So what were some of the lessons? Like mine was awareness of what I deserve, releasing of old patterns. I mean, as long as I've been doing this work and being on this journey, I could not believe some of the patterns that were still at play. And it wasn't like, so for me, what it was this year is that I've been aware of the patterns for several years. I've been aware, but it got to the level of like, wow, like knowing like I know, and seeing truly how, when they were created, how they played out, how they still play out, how I needed to stop them. Like I needed to see when I was in the pattern and consciously start to choose, no more of that, right? So what has it been for you guys? Need to leave a legacy, Maxine says. Wow. I think all of us, thanks to the pandemic, we all learned that one of the things we need to remember is to take time for being. So much doing we do, so much doing. But this year it was about taking time for doing. Faith says, I learned that I am infinite power. I learned that I'm infinite power. I am resilience. We've all had to pivot, right? Incredible year of pivoting. I know that's one of the lessons that we've learned in remembering how amazingly powerful we are. That, yeah, life can throw us an entire pandemic and we're still going to thrive, right? We're still going to not only survive, but thrive and learn new ways of being and really tap into our conscious ability to choose health. I know for me, one of the things I realize is there's a choice in every single moment to worry or to have faith and to choose health. So, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm here to do big things. You guys are typing some really great things. And so before you choose your year, it's really important to look back at what was the lesson of this year and kind of make that be the foundation for how you choose the word. All right. Jackie says, I'm deserving. I love that, Jackie. We both learned that one this year. All right. So step number two in choosing your word is, I truly believe, like more than ever, that this time we are being called to be true to ourselves in a way that we've never done in our lifetimes. I'm talking about like everything has been set up where all the fake stuff is falling away, all the lies, all the, deception. Just look around. It is all crumbling. People refer to this as the matrix. I don't really get into that language because I don't truly understand it. I'm very basic, simple, human, layman's terms works really good for me. And what I can tell you is, just as somebody living on planet Earth, I can see it all. Just like there's so much noise right now, and everyone's vying for power, and everyone's trying to get in our heads and have us in fear. And it's like, it's crumbling. And what that tells me is we're all being called to be true to ourselves in a way that we've never done in our lifetimes. So it's not about going big anymore, right? It's everybody's like, oh, it's time to stop playing small. It's in choosing your word, it's not about playing small or going big. It's about being true. As you choose your word for 2021, I want you to think of, how does this word reflect the truth of who I am, what I really want, what my true desires are, the fullest expression of me, where in a way that I don't care what anybody else thinks. I don't care what anybody else wants of me. I don't care what anybody else suggest that I should do. Like, it is no longer about anybody else but me. So in choosing your word, how can you leverage this time? Because I told you the universe has set you up to, like, truly, like, anything you ask right now, anything you ask in a way that you've never been given. This, we've never been in this combination of energetic times before. So anything you ask, you have the power to experience. It's no more fluff, no more, like, out there things. It's about inside this time. We're going further in. And so, what is true to you? If you really want to leverage yourself, if you really want to rise in consciousness, if you really want to, like you've all heard, the 3D and 5D experience that we're going to have right now, which just means, do you want to be free? Do you want to be happy? Do you want to be living on the vibration and the consciousness of joy and peace and love and bliss? Then you have to be making the choice to be true to you, because that, when you're being true to you and true to your desires, that is when you are at your highest vibration. So everybody type, I am being true to me. I am being true to me as your declaration that is what you're going to do. If you're ready to, like, take this up a notch and really leverage what the universe has set the stage for all of us, like, I can't say enough about this. The stage has been set for you to evolve, to experience bliss, if you choose. But if you're still being fake and being dishonest with yourself and not being in alignment with your true self, you are not going to have that experience. Does that make sense? You're going to remain at low vibration, and you're not going to rise. You're not going to expand. That's just, I don't know how else to tell you. If you are not prepared to be true to you right now, like you've never been in your life. So for me, I know, there's something that's near and dear to my heart, and I've been going back and forth. Is that the right thing? Is, like, should I be doing it another way? And really, it just became very clear to me in these last 2 days. It's your desire. It's what you want. It doesn't need to make sense to anybody else. It doesn't need to be right to anybody else. Nothing about it needs anybody else's anything. It's what you want. Be true to you. I'm being true to me. I love it. Precious. I got to put you up on here because yours was just the bomb. Look at all those hearts. I love that. All right. So, number one, what was the lesson that we learned? That's going to be like the path that we're going to understand. Okay, so I got that lesson. How does that set me up to choose where I go from here? So if you're on a journey and you got the map, right? The map took you to this point in the destination. That's what the lesson of this year was. It took you to this point in the destination. Now you're standing here and you were deciding, where do I go from here? And your first thought is, I'm going to be true to me. I'm going to go with what feels right to me, what feels right for me, what makes me feel like expanded and full of light and love and joy. That's what I'm going to choose, right? Whatever path you choose, that's a criteria for you. And now number 3, and here is where my son and Diane's husband taught me the biggest lesson in all the years that I've been choosing a word for the year. They taught me the biggest lesson this year. And it's to not make your word a verb. To not make your word a verb, but to make it an adjective. So I'm going to just let that sit with you. Because a verb is about doing. It's about, this is the thing I'm going to do this year. And that's not going to fly anymore. Not if you want to leverage the opportunity that's available for us to fly, to be free, to experience bliss. If you want to stay in that state, then it's no longer about doing, my friends. I'm sorry, those days are gone. New earth, the doing thing is behind us. Sure, we're going to still have to take action and we're still going to have to do, but it's not, doing is no longer leading the way. It is about being. So we're not going to choose a word that's a verb. That's my recommendation to you. Really pause before you choose your word. Do not make it a verb. Make it an adjective. Make it a way of being, something that describes a way of being for you. That you are saying, universe, Here's my North Star. I want to be this way. I want you to support me in bringing everything that I need, so that I can be the experience of this word. And so here's what happened. Both Diane and I Diane asked John, her husband, and I asked my son, Sebastian. I got back and I was like, so what is your word for the year? We're choosing a word for the year. What would your word for the year be, Sebastian? Both of them said happy. So in my experience with my son, I was like, happy? Well, you should always be happy. No, challenge yourself. What do you want to go for? What do you want to, have, do, become, whatever. Choose a word that's like a driving force in your life. And he looked at me like I was crazy. And he was like, this is so simple, Mom. I just want to be happy. And that, my friends, was the biggest lesson for me in 2020. Why do we continue to choose words like growth, transform, expand? That's all going to happen regardless. Those things are going to happen regardless. A more powerful question is, how do you want to be? Because if you choose how you want to be, so if I choose I want to be happy, then as I'm going through my transformation and my growth and my everything else that is going to happen, because life's going to happen, I want to do it feeling joy and being happy and feeling bliss and feeling love and feeling gratitude, right? Grateful. So keep it simple, keep it descriptive, keep it heart-centered, heartfelt. You don't need to push yourself. Who are you trying to prove something to? That you're going to grow this year? Why? You are going to grow. You don't need to call that in. Trust me, you're going to grow. Right? As long as you're on this journey called life and you're committed to this way of life and your desire is to be your best self, you are going to grow. You are going to transform. It is going to happen. So let's choose a way of being. A way of being. So here are some words that I came up with that I'm going to spend all of today before I land on my word. So ease, love, happiness, abundant, bliss, joy, healthy. That's a big one. Healthy. Choosing healthy. So I know that you guys love it, Trisha. Magical. Let me see if I can get that up here. Trisha, I love that. Magical. I want all my experiences this year, universe, to be magical. Grace, I love it. My word is easy. Where did Grace go? My word is easy. I love that. Leah, fulfilled. I love it. All right, you guys. So if there are words coming to you right now, please feel free to share them. But more importantly, I just want you to take some time today to, while we're on here, there's a lot of energy. We're all collectively in each other's energy. So I want you to just get off this live when we're done, sit by yourself and really take the time to process. Look back at the lesson, because if you don't reflect on the lesson of this year, you might not choose the word that takes you to the next state of being, right? You have to really reflect on what you learned this year, because it happened for a reason. And number two, be willing to be true to yourself, whatever the word is. Maybe you're like, you know what? I just choose joy. And then you're like, yeah, but my family probably wants me to choose wealth or whatever, something else. But it's, what do you want? And then choose a word that's just a descriptive way of being. And then one last thing I want to encourage you guys to think of, all of you that are still watching, those of you on Instagram, those of you that are here on Facebook, together, because we're two or more joined, I believe that energetically we're connected, and as a collective we have incredible power. It's not just whatever number of us are here in this container, it's the ripple effect of our choice. So all of you watching, can you just take a moment and think about a word that you would like to put in the container? And I'm going to read all the comments and, just I don't know, I'll choose one, I guess. But what would you want a word to be for humanity that we chose today, on this day, not just thinking about ourselves, but for the collective, for the legacy that we're going to leave, the way 200 years from now, they're going to look at the history books and go, wow, those people from 2021, they really set us up good. They chose a word that we're still living and experiencing, for the human race, for humanity, what would be a word? I see love everywhere. I see love, together, illuminated, peace. I have goosebumps. It is the most incredible joy to be amongst people like you. With our hearts in the right place, with the willingness to think outside of ourselves in this moment, and to think of what we want for our species, right? For our legacy, for the world, the way the world will be, the way the world will experience life. Healed. I love it. Oh, I love it. Equality. I love it. You know, some of the words that came up for me were love, healed, and joy. Love, healed, and joy. And I'll see where I land as I continue to think about it. But I just want to encourage all of you as you write your intentions today, as you choose your word and you write out an intention around your word, that you also include some thoughts about your legacy for humanity. Imagine that 200 years from now, the people of that time find our journals and they read it and they're just grateful that we took the time to do this. Mwah. Yes. I love you guys. All right. So that's it for your word of the year. It's a big deal. It's a big day. Take some time. Don't just whatever you came up with, really continue to sit with it, journal about it. I know that the universe has set it all up for you. It's going to be the wind behind your sails, whatever course you chart with your word, trust and know that it will be your experience. Oops, I think Instagram is now totally gone. Maybe. I don't know. I'll get back to that. All right. I'll see you guys December 30th, Wednesday, December 30th. If you're just joining, type the word intention so you get all the reminders and the details for how to join. Type the word intention in the comments, just intention, nothing else. No emojis, just the word intention. And you're going to get a message in Facebook Messenger with all the details, but you need to click on it in Messenger. All right. I love you guys. Happy Monday. Merry Christmas at the end of the week to those of you that celebrate Christmas. And bye from Costa Rica. I love you guys. Bye-bye.